What's cracking, everybody? This is Ed from Ed Travels. I just wanted to do a really quick short video about a term that I've been hearing more and more, social media, whatever, um, about brothers traveling. And the term is Passport Pookie. Now, I'm fully aware of what the term means in the context of, you know, the Passport Bros movement. With more and more brothers traveling to other countries, naturally, there's going to be an increase of travelers, both young and old, who are new to international travel. So that's going to lead to a little bit of ignorance about certain aspects of international travel. And before I begin, I'd like to explain the difference between ignorance and stupidity. Stupidity is running across a 5-lane highway in the middle of the night. That's just stupid. Ignorance is going to a 5-star restaurant for the first time and not knowing how to use all the utensils, the cutlery. You're ignorant to that. You haven't been exposed to that. And in most cases, ignorance is okay. It's okay to be ignorant because you've never been exposed to this before in your life. And I think that that's what happens to many of us. I was ignorant to a lot of facts. 20 plus years ago when I started traveling internationally. Taxis, visas, immigration, all of that type of stuff. It's all new because you've never done it before. So before I think people need to start coming down on these so-called passport pookies, before we denigrate, I think we need to make an effort to educate. We don't want to be the ones jumping on each other's backs. Now, with that being said, I've seen and experienced some of the things attributed to passport pookies. I think that it's imperative that new travelers understand one thing above most. You're not in your country anymore. It's a totally different ball game. The rules don't apply as they normally would. The authorities in that country don't want to hear what it's like back in your hometown. Doesn't matter. You're on their playing field. You're a visitor in their country. So act accordingly. It's almost like when I was a little boy. My grandmother used to always give us that briefing. When you go to somebody else's house, act like you got some sense. I know the excitement to be somewhere different, to take it all in. You go into a place where if you drink, you can get bottle service for $40, where it's 500, 1,000 or more back where you from, and you want to get it in. I get that. Beautiful women all over the place, all this kind of things, and you want to get it in. But you've got to understand that you not only represent other black men and other black people, most importantly, you represent yourself. Act like you got some business about you. And in my experience, I've run into two types of these quote-unquote passport pookies. The humble young man that sits back and says, all right, bro, I got your big dog, OG, whatever. And then it's like, oh, all right, I got you. And I run into the one that's like, oh, man, I ain't trying to, I ain't trying to hear you. I ain't trying to get with that, man, da. And to me, either one is fine because a hard head makes a soft behind. Going to someone else's country, you need to conduct yourself in a proper way. Not drawing attention to yourself. You know, a prime example of that is, wearing big flashy jewelry and things like that. Yo, if that's you and that's you, all well and good. As long as you take into account the fact that the chain you might be wearing might be the annual salary of a local in that country. And it puts you on the radar. There might be a target on your back. Again, you're a grown A man. That's how you express yourself. That's how you want to roll. I'm not judging you. No disrespect intended. To each his own. But also realize in the world that we live in, those are examples that exude wealth. You know, going into a gentleman's club or a strip club in a country, throwing money in the air. I mean, I live in the A. I live in Atlanta. You know, I don't really do the strip club things, but the couple times I've done it, I've seen them throwing 20s, 50s, 100s in the air. You know, you go down to a country where the exchange rate is 4 to 1. So 1,000, 2,000 pesos is like 25 to 50 cents. And you throwing that in the air, it's an insult. And again, that's not what's done in that country. And you're drawing attention to yourself. So just keep that in mind. And to the more experienced brothers in this Passport Brothers and Black Men Travels movement, let's try to educate. Let's try to look out a little bit. Rather so much than pointing fingers and complaining, let's pull a coattail. Let's tap them on the shoulder and say, hey man, I've been doing this for a minute. Maybe you need to think about the way you move. It'll make life a lot more easier for you on this wonderful journey we're going on. So, this is Ed with Ed Travels. Catch flights, not feelings. Safe travels to you all. Peace.